Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Pampered Chef Live. We're so glad to have you with us tonight. This is our weekly live cooking demo, and I am Michael, your moderator. Where are you joining from tonight? Post in the chat, let us know. And also, can you drop an emoji letting us know how you're feeling about the holidays coming up? During the next 30 to 45 minutes, we'll be joining Julie from her home kitchen as she teaches us how to create festive and tasty homemade holiday gifts to share with loved ones. After the cooking demo, we'll be selecting attendees for giveaways, and not our usual 3 giveaways, but 12 giveaways tonight. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to register for the event right away through Zoom so you can be eligible for tonight's drawing. We'll also have a personal Q&A time with Julie about the recipe and the products she used, as well as some frequently asked questions about her experience as a consultant after the demo. All right, so some final housekeeping notes just before we get started. The recipe handout, which lists the recipe and the featured products for tonight, was included in the email that you should have gotten before the event. And you'll get the same email again after the event in case you missed it the first time. It's a little easy to miss, but it is in there. Just look. And second of all, there's going to be a survey that pops up in Zoom when you sign off. And we want your feedback. We will be selecting one more winner for a bonus giveaway from the survey out later in the week. So that's another chance to win. If you don't win the giveaway tonight, still have a chance to win through the survey, okay? So, and if you have a question that you would like us or Julie to answer, drop it in the Q&A feature here in Zoom, and that's different from your chat. And our staff are responding to questions during the event, and we will save some questions for Julie to answer as well. And if the chat is getting a little too busy for your liking, you can always mute notifications by clicking into the chat and clicking at the arrow at the top to stop showing chat preview. So that's all I'm going to say for now. We're going to bring Julie on here. So grab a beverage, kick back. It's time to relax, and it's time to get cooking. So, Julie, if you're ready, take it away.
I'm here. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
let's do it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie. I've been with Pampered Chef since 1996. I've been doing this a really long time. I'm super excited to share these festive holiday treats with all of you today. I'm going to give you a preview of what we're going to make together, and I'm going to show you how to put them together. So can you see? We've got some pretzel wreaths on one side, and over here I've got some holiday bark. There's a lot of different variations for these, and they're perfect for gift giving. So let's start with the pretzel wreaths first. One of the things that I love about being a Pampered Chef consultant is the flexibility. And when my son was young in elementary school, I actually did this activity in the classroom with them. So I thought I would show you how to pull this off if you want to do it with your family ahead of time. So just grab a paper plate, write the name of each person on the plate with like Sharpie or something, and then you're going to make a bunch of these little parchment paper squares. Just cut them up, and then you can stack all your plates so that you have it all ready to go if you're going to do this for a child's activity. Everybody needs 12 pretzels. I'm making all of this gluten-free today, so I've got gluten-free pretzels. You can use whatever kind you like, and it's really simple. So you need to melt some almond bark, and I've done that in the microwave ahead of time. I prefer to use glass bowls when I'm melting things like almond bark because it gets really hot. And I'll tell you, just from experience, when they say that you should stir every 30 seconds, they're not kidding. If you don't, you can burn the almond bark. You can use white chocolate if you want to. Almond bark is just really affordable and easy to work with. So if you can see what I'm doing, I'm taking these pretzels and I'm dunking them just to the halfway point. Basically, you're making a glue with your pretzels, and you're going to put 6 on the bottom, and then you'll do 6 more on top. Now, you can be as clever as you want with this. Maybe you would like to tint your almond bark, and if that's the case, maybe you want to make them like Grinch, so you'll have some that's red and some that's green. You can really let your minds run wild with ideas here. I prefer to stick with the white bark because I can just dress it up with sprinkles depending on what I'm doing. You don't have to just do these at the holiday time. You really can do them anytime because everybody loves pretzels and chocolate, right? They're so good. They're kind of addictive. And then once you've got it all done, we're going to do some sprinkles. So whatever kind you like. If you're going to do this with a kids activity, like when I did it with my son's school, they were in pods of like 4 desks and they each had a bottle of sprinkles, and we had every group of 4 had a little bowl of melted almond bark. So make it easy if you're going to do this for a group activity. Then you're going to take your sprinkles and just sprinkle all over the top. And that's it. So can you see? So simple. After about 5 minutes, they set up just like this. Okay, so they get nice and firm. If you want to use these for a decoration on your Christmas tree or whatever, you can put like a ribbon on there and hang them up, and they're really cute. But this is just a fun activity you can do with kids. So you've got these leftover pretzels. I like to do it this way. Just dump your pretzels in there. If you've made these before, tell us in the chat. How do you like to dunk your foods? Are you dunking things like Oreos and pretzel rods, or have you done this? And instead of doing them one by one, I just like to throw them all in the bowl and then just mix it all up and then just put it right onto your parchment. So you're not going to have any waste at all. So super simple. And everybody's going to enjoy these just as much as the pretzel wreaths. So just dump that on there. We'll spread them around. And then whatever sprinkles you like, we'll just make it super fun. So you want to make sure that they are not piled up if you want to be able to break them apart for gifts. So I'm curious, if you like to make candy and cookies, what kinds of things are you putting on your cookie trays this time of year? And I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to say no chocolate chip, anything but chocolate chip, because everybody knows chocolate chip, right? So what are you putting on your cookie trays? I'm curious to see what you're doing. And we're going to go ahead and add some blue sprinkles on these, just like that. And while I'm finishing, these are going to set up very nicely. So I'm just going to go ahead and move these over, and let's start that crunch bark for the holiday season. So I've got the almond bark melted here in the classic batter bowl. We've got 2 different batter bowls. Do you have a favorite? Which size do you like? And I bet some of you have been following us with Pampered Chef maybe as long as I've been a consultant, and maybe you have batter bowls with handles that are connected to the bowl. If that's you, you've been a fan for a really long time. So thank you for supporting your consultant and Pampered Chef all those years. Today, the bowls have a handle that comes away from the bowl. So that means they can stack inside of each other. So this bowl here is the small batter bowl. And you can see I've got a batter bowl brownie mix in here. It's really colorful and fun. It makes a great gift. And whoever's going to enjoy the gift or the brownies will have a container that's useful. So ask your consultant for the batter bowl brownie recipe. It's not in today's handout, but it's on your consultant's website. It's a really nice gift. Okay, so for this one, we need 12 ounces of almond bark, again, melted. The recipe in the handout calls for white chocolate. You can use either. I wanted to use a similar ingredient for both so that when you're doing your groceries for this type of activity, you can stretch and use it for the same main ingredient for both. So to get the right amount, I use my digital scale and weighed it. If you're a baker, especially a sourdough baker, it's a must-have. You can measure exactly how much you need. It does grams, ounces, and pounds. I love it, especially for baking. So if you're doing a lot of holiday baking, your best results will come when you accurately weigh your ingredients whenever possible. You'll have the best results there. Okay, all we're going to add to this are some pistachios and some cranberries, which I have, right here, a scoop of cranberries. So we're going to put this in the 2-cup prep bowl. We have lots of items on sale this month. It's something like 80 to 90 items. I can't even keep track of all of them, but I know the 2-cup prep bowls are among that list. If you're watching in the chat and you know what's on sale, pop it in the comments. Tell us which item is on sale that you're most excited about, and you can look at it with all your friends have to say here. So these come in sets of 2. The 1 cup come in sets of 6, and the 3 cup that I used for the pretzel wreaths come in sets of two. So that's like multiple gifts if you fill it with different things. So for the pistachios, I'll save you some effort and buy the kind that are already shelled. Your family members that are making the recipe with you will thank you for not having to shell them. Or if you're doing it on your own, you're going to appreciate that. So I'm going to use the food chopper. And because I'm doing something that rolls, I like to take the food chopper upside down to fill it. But before I do, take a look at these blades. When I was a new consultant, or even before I became a consultant, I hosted a party. And the food chopper is one of the items that I got for half price by hosting. And it got me really hooked on Pampered Chef. And it's because of what the blades do. So every time you hit the top, they rotate. That means you're getting a nice even chop. And for something little like pistachios, that's super handy, right? I want these to be kind of chunky. So count with me. We're going to count to 5. That's how many chops I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, if you're cooking with kids, anytime you can count, it helps reinforce math skills. And it means that you're not going to get crazy and make them into pistachio dust. If you can see, my pinky finger is hooked under here so the cap doesn't fall off. Twist your food chopper from the top when you're doing things like this, and you can dump it without it going all over the place. So that's a super handy trick to keep things nice and neat. So go ahead and mix all of this up. And we're going to put half of it into the almond bark. And that's it. So when you look at your handouts, you're going to see, I think there are about 4 different variations that you can enjoy from the same basic concept. So if you've already looked at the handout, will you tell us which of the flavor variations are you most excited to try? Is it this one or one of the toffee ones? What looked yummy to you? So once you've got half of them in there, you're going to take your small scraper, small mix-in scraper, stir it all up, and then we're simply going to pour it into the largest of the modular sheet pans. So these come in a set, and the best part about these is they fit in your air fryer. So do you have our deluxe air fryer? It is an amazing product. If you have one, you know this. And if you're here today and you're still doing some shopping for gifts, anybody you give that air fryer to is going to be so excited to get it. So you're going to take a piece of parchment paper, and my trick when I'm putting it on things like this where I really want the edges to be nice, I like to smash it up and then open it back up, and it's going to fit into the corners better. Some people like to wet it. I usually just crunch it up. You see it kind of stays put that way. So when you're working with almond bark, you do need to work with it pretty quickly because it does set up fast. So if you're going to be doing this as an activity with family members, just keep in mind that you want to melt your almond bark last. Okay, use the back of your small mix-in scraper, and this is essentially candy. So you want it to be pretty thin because you don't need a lot of it. You know, you need just a taste. And you can go to the edge if you want, or just get as close to the edge as you like. If you're using a bigger pan, just, you know, you're going to basically spread this out to be about a 9 by 13. That's what you want. Okay. Once you've done that, you're going to take the rest of this and sprinkle it all over the top. And it just makes it look especially beautiful. It almost looks healthy. It's candy for sure. Okay. If you like, you can take a piece of parchment and just kind of gently press it in there so that all of those yummy additions will stay tucked in. Okay. So this is going to set up in about 10 minutes. You can pop it in the fridge if you want to, but really if you just leave it on the counter, it will solidify very quickly. And once it is, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and get it cut up so that you can serve it. So here we go. I've got my cutting board here. And, you know, the thing that I like about both of these recipes is that you don't have to make them the day before your event. If you like to do some things ahead of time, these will last for quite a while. So your pretzel wreaths will stay crunchy and fresh outside of the fridge, like in a Ziploc bag for a couple of weeks. Your bark this will stay fine too for a few weeks. So you can make them ahead of time if you want to. I'm using our coated chef's knife. Now, this is one of the sets that is on sale. It is a great value. If you have anybody on your gift list who is a newer cook, maybe a college student or somebody that just moved into their first place, or somebody who just likes a lighter weight knife, this is a great choice. I use these all the time. And I'm going to go ahead and plate it up on our charcuterie board. I am loving this board. It's so beautiful and so versatile. I'm just going to slide these on here just so you can get the idea. And of course, what's going to make it super special is to serve it with these little mitten tongs. These are a seasonal item. They're only available while supplies last. And word on the street is they're almost sold out. So if this is on your wish list, definitely reach out to your consultant and get yourself a set. Just like our other tongs, they have silicone tops. And the mittens actually have little flecks of white in them to make them look like yarn, and they are just adorable. So with our charcuterie set, the ceramic insert here does come out. So if you were doing appetizers or you're even doing like sandwich toppings, whatever, you can decide if you want to keep this in the well or have it on the side. Separate from that, we have this cute little bag with all different charcuterie tools that make a really beautiful gift. And these are on sale, so you'll love that. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Michael, so you can do some things, and then we'll come back.
All right, let me get my screen on here. That sounds awesome. Thank you for that. You go ahead and clean up or do whatever you're going to do, and we'll bring Julie back on in a little bit. I'm definitely intrigued. I'm kind of curious what's hiding in those bags, but I'm gonna give her a little time and see what's going on there. So, speaking of bags and gifts, I think it might be time to do a little giveaway. So, who's ready for a giveaway? Anyone? If any of the products that you've seen tonight are intrigue you, you are in luck. Julie mentioned that there is a big sale going on, and you're going to get to hear about that in a little bit. But some of those same items that are in the sale, we're going to be giving away tonight. And we are giving away 12 different things tonight, each one to a different attendee. So without further ado, let me put this on the screen and see who our lucky winner is going to be. Drum roll, the winners tonight are Stephanie Roche, Kala Gross, Vicky Isa, Catherine Dardis, Kathleen Amend, Mary Rupp, Penny Whitlock, Judy Desmarias, Julie Ussery, Lana Pagel, Heidi Amaker, and Kelly Hillman. You all are our winners tonight. Congratulations. You can see what you've won. I'm going to get in touch with you after the show to get your shipping information, and we will get these products in the mail for you. Use them for yourself or put them in somebody's stocking. Could be a lot of fun. So, and now let's talk about that sale a little bit. Congratulations to the winners, by the way. So that sale that we're talking about is going on from now until December 18th. And that date is important because that's the last day you can order something, and we can get it guaranteed that it'll get to you before Christmas or Hanukkah if you're ordering for something like that. So that's how long the sale lasts, just to help you remember that date. But you can get 20% off pantry items and a bunch of other great stuff. Talk to your consultant to learn more about this sale and any other products you saw in Julie's demo tonight. Now, you also heard Julie mention the idea that she got a big discount when she hosted a party, and we want to invite you to have that same opportunity. You can host a party in December, and with qualifying sales of $200 or more in the party, you can get 60% off anything. Anything, big ticket item, small ticket item, your choice. Talk to your consultant ASAP to get a party booked this month. And if you book one and get one in the next week, we can throw in an extra mystery gift for you as well. So talk to your consultant to learn more about that. And speaking of talking to consultants, we're going to talk to a consultant now. Specifically, this one, Julie, I'm excited to talk to you. So first of all, do you want to show us what's in those bags? What's in there?
Yes. So Michael mentioned lots of items that are on sale, and I thought I'd give you a few ideas so that you can kind of see how you could position our products for loved ones. So in this bag here, this would be a perfect little like teacher gift, or whoever's giving music lessons to your kids, or you have those people in your life, you want something small. So what about a gift set that says seasonings, greetings. You can fill it with whatever pantry items you'd like. So I've got three that are seasonal: our Korinji cinnamon, cinnamon plus, and our vanilla. These are specifically available just October to December. So these are fabulous, but you can add whatever seasoning. We have rubs that are under $5 right now with the sale, so they're wonderful. In this bag here, I have the latte gift set. So it includes a brown sugar syrup, a cinnamon, a powdered sugar shaker. Those are part of the set, the latte set. And then I throw in some little Nespresso pods because maybe you're also giving them a coffee machine, which is amazing. I love our Pampered Chef coffee machine. Lots of hosts of mine choose it for 50 to 60% off. And if you're thinking about becoming a consultant, the coffee machine is actually one of the options that you can choose in your new consultant kit. So if you're a coffee drinker, you will love it. And in this set here, I have kind of a pizza theme going on. We do have a pizza night gift set that is fantastic. It does include the large round stone, but this one is just other pizza things. So I've got a pizza cutter. I have, again, what's on sale? Everything but the pizza, Italian, our famous garlic press. This was my first, what I call my first big girl purchase from Pampered Chef before I was a consultant. It's still a favorite. And a pizza crust. Again, all these pantry items are on sale. So you can position them however you like. Everybody will love them. And I like consumables like this for gifts because if you're not sure what to get them, people have to eat. So they'll enjoy that. And then I think one of the ultimate sets as a gift is our color-coded knife set. It's really affordable. And even when you host a party, if you're doing it this month, you can choose your knife set for 50 or 60% off of the sale price. So it's a great time to have a party, and there's plenty of time to have a quick party with your friends. So reach out to your consultant so you can save, and your guests will enjoy getting all these great deals too.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. That's, I mean, really creative ways to give gifts. And yeah, food-based gifts, fantastic. Like you literally can't go wrong with that. So I have a couple more questions for you from the audience, and I want to just tee those up for you. So one of them is someone said, I don't understand what you mean by almond bark. Is that the almond bark recipe melted or something else?
This is what it looks like in my store. This is just the store brand. It is made of a bunch of stuff. Basically, it's like white chocolate. Okay, so when you pull it out, this is pretty easy to find in any grocery store. I mean, it's a very seasonal product.
Ooh.
Aldi has it. It's not something you eat by itself, but
Okay, I'm
sometimes it's
glad you said
required
that
to.
because to be honest, when you pulled it out, I was like, but can you eat it
But
by
maybe
itself?
you would. Sometimes you would use, they call another brand might be Candy Melts. And so typically in the store, you'll find the vanilla and you'll find the chocolate. And really in a recipe like we made here, or even with the pretzel wreaths, if you want to use the milk chocolate flavored ones, you can. So anyway, this is found usually in the baking aisle. But it's so popular this time of year, a lot of stores will actually have an end cap stacked high because it's really popular for coating things.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Someone else asked, what's that brownie bowl called again? They want to make sure they're getting the right thing.
So the bowl is the small batter bowl is the name of the product. And what's in it is called batter bowl brownies. So ask your consultant or just go to your consultant's website and just search for it, batter bowl brownies. It'll give you the recipe. And basically what you've made is a brownie mix. All you have to do is add oil, egg, and vanilla, maybe some water. I can't remember, but it's the same basic things you would add to a brownie mix. So, and you can make these gluten-free if you want to. So instead of all-purpose flour, use gluten-free flour if that's the need that you have. So it's a delicious brownie. One year at the holiday time, I actually got 10 batter bowls and I set them all up on my counter and I made 10 gifts. So I just did assembly line style and everybody got a brownie mix and a small batter bowl as a gift. So, you know, it's a pretty affordable way to make something that's delicious and practical. So I like practical gifts and I think Pampered Chef fits the bill for that. These are things that people will use frequently.
I love that. Okay, couple more questions for you. Can you add dye or food coloring to almond bark?
Yes, you can.
Cool. Especially probably if it's the white kind, it's gonna be whatever you
Absolutely.
want.
Yeah. So if you like the Grinch idea and you want to do some red and green, you absolutely can.
Okay, love that.
Mhm.
And here's another question. Since you were talking about coffee, does the coffee pot make lattes? What makes the coffee machine so great?
So the coffee machine allows you to create any coffee shop treat at home. So you can make espresso, which is the base of a latte or a cappuccino. You have, a shot of espresso on the bottom, and then you add some foamed milk on top. So our electric milk frother, I think, is a good pair to go with the electric or the deluxe coffee machine. I am so passionate about this coffee machine. I don't even miss going to a coffee shop. I can make something fancy at home every day, and it's pennies instead of $8, which I wouldn't pay anyway, but I get to spoil myself every day. It also has a K-cup insert. So if you like the convenience of that, you can. And if you want to use ground coffee, you can. So it's got all of the bases covered. And there's also a separate hot water insert. So if you're a tea drinker or you want to make hot chocolate, you can do that too.
Fantastic. So you're just talking about the coffee machine. What are some of the other products in your kitchen, whether you've earned them or bought them, that are some of your personal favorites to use?
The deluxe multi cooker is a workhorse in my kitchen. I use it often. I make dog food for my dog, so I'm cooking whole chickens in there. I
That's
make
awesome.
soup, stews, I make yogurt. It makes me sound like Pioneer Woman or something, but really, if you have the right tool, you can do anything. So tomorrow for dinner, I'm making a beef stew with polenta. It's a Pampered Chef recipe. It's very easy to make, and you don't have to watch it. You just turn it on and you can go do other things. So it does all the work for you. It's got 16 settings. So it can steam your rice, it can make desserts, it can cook beans from the dry state to being done in 30 to 40 minutes. So it is definitely, like I said, it's a workhorse in the kitchen. I wouldn't want to be without it.
I love it.
Mhm.
All right, I've got two more questions for you, Julie.
Sure.
So, uh, you have been a consultant for how many years did you say?
28 and a half.
28 and a half. The half is crucial.
The
The half,
half.
super important. I mean, 28, okay, 28 and a half, yes. Um, in 28 and a half years of doing this, what have been some of the benefits or perks that you have found besides just income, besides products? What else have you found beneficial about being a Pampered Chef consultant?
I've become a really good cook, which I think is I was okay before, but just by virtue of doing this, I've learned so much, and I love being able to teach other people that. So there's a personal satisfaction that comes when someone will reach out and say, "Hey, I made what I saw you make and it turned out wonderful and my family loved it." And I feel like I was able to help another family's meal be better. So
Amazing.
I love that. I absolutely love the flexibility. When I started, I was working 60 hours a week, and this was very much a side gig. I had a short-term goal in mind. I didn't plan to do this forever. I had just finished a master's degree, and I thought I would do this for a couple of months and be on my merry way. And I found that it really fit in my life, and I was able to do it on the side while working full time. And that flexibility changed. When our son was born, I was able to continue to make Pampered Chef work around our busy family. And as empty nesters, I love the freedom of being able to visit our families on both coasts when we need to and not have to ask for that time off. So I love the flexibility and the ability to teach people. I think those are the two big ones for me.
That's amazing. Um, and I'm going to throw in an extra question. I said two, but I'm going to throw in one more that I saw come in that I think is cool. 28 and a half years. What was the very first product that you earned after becoming a consultant?
Oh my goodness. Phew, everything seemed so new, but I will point out the stoneware made a big impression on me because I remember as a child, I didn't mind cooking. I didn't like baking. I let my
Hmm.
sister do that because my cookies would often burn and I'd have to scrape off the bottoms because I'd been baking on metal cookie sheets. And when I started baking on stoneware that I got as a new consultant, things just looked like the pictures in the cookbooks. And so that was a big confidence boost for me. And I realized
Mhm.
it wasn't me, it was the bakeware I was using. So then I became more confident and more adventurous. So a lot changed for me when I discovered what stones can do in a
Yeah.
baker's kitchen. And it's my preferred way to bake. I love to bake with stones.
And how cool that, I mean, confidence. What a gift to gain confidence, to gain the skills necessary. I mean, frankly, in my short time working at Pampered Chef, I have, as a byproduct, have been learning to cook, and it's so cool to have that confidence
Right.
be imparted as well. All right,
Right.
last question for you, Julie. You mentioned flexibility, and very cool how you were able to kind of shift your schedule based on the changing needs of your family. What does that flexibility look like for you today? What does that do for you to be that flexible as a consultant?
It means I can say yes to things that I might not have been able to before. So um, personal health and fitness is important to my husband and I. So I can commit to exercising every day with our dog. I can say yes to volunteering in our community when there's a need. I can do things that are just, I might not have been able to do if I didn't have the flexibility of this schedule.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess I can say yes, but I also know how to say no because I see a balance. There's an importance in having balance in our lives. And I'm not saying I say yes to everything and I'm always running frantic. There's
Mhm.
certainly seasons in all our lives when we're busier, but there's also a season when we can prioritize what's important to us. And it's important to me to cook at home. So we don't eat out very often, but I have the confidence to cook anything I like. I have the tools to make that happen. And I have the knowledge to make good use of our grocery resources. So we have very little food waste here. So all of those pieces to me kind of are a package. It's not just one benefit of this business, but it's just being able to make full use of the resources that we have, um, and being able to help our communities while we're at it. So
Incredible. That speaks to me on many levels, genuinely. So thank
thank
you for
you.
that. And thank you just for everything, Julie. Thank you for leading tonight. Thank you for sharing your talent with us. And, I have not done my shopping yet. So now you've given me some good resources to know what to buy or what to make as gifts. So thank you again. And for
You're
anyone
welcome.
who's interested in learning more about becoming a consultant, talk to your local consultant or visit the Be a Consultant page on our website and look for the lookbook that talks a little bit more about the details, including the income disclosure statement, to know about how all the nitty-gritty of how this all works. And thank you for joining us tonight. We hope to see you next week for our very last Pampered Chef Live event of the year with Edgar. And Edgar is going to be teaching us how to make two quick and easy recipes, sweet and savory, for holiday get-togethers. He's a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun for the last event of the year. Julie, thank you so much. This has been awesome. And thank you all for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you later. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.